Water interruptions continue in some parts of Durban as the wage strike by SAMWU members continues. 13 of them are set to appear in court today following a week of violent protests. Let's catch you up with Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan. She joins us live from Durban. Karinda, good afternoon. Tell us about how residents and I suppose businesses as well have been impacted.
Certainly. Good afternoon, Michelle. Well, at this point, there are many areas across Durban that don't have running tap water. Already, the eThekwini municipalities, many suburbs and rural areas have been struggling with water interruptions because of infrastructure issues or just water not being able to be piped to some rural areas. But the situation has worsened in some areas where water interruptions began occurring more severely so at the start of these protests last week. It's unclear whether this is linked to the protest. However, what is happening is that municipal workers who are responsible for going out to fix this aren't able to go out to do their job. The drivers of water tankers also fear going out because they say they're being threatened by the protesting municipal workers, saying that they're not supporting the cause. Ultimately, we know that the South African Municipal Workers Union are calling for a wage or salary increment at the eThekwini municipality in line to what other metro municipalities are providing their employees. But those negotiations are at a national level because of various policies and regulations. But on the ground, residents within the eThekwini municipality are struggling. Take a look at just the waste behind me. This is just one corner of the city where some of the bins have been piling up, and as you go around the Durban CBD or suburbs like Verulam where we were this morning, you'll find a similar thing, waste strewn across the city because it's not being collected, adding to some health issues and quite just a smelly CBD as well. The water issue is also a major concern for local residents. I interviewed a Verulam representative earlier today. Take a listen to how he explained this impact.
You're talking about 150,000 residents that were left without a drop of water, without tankers, and without any form of relief whatsoever. The strike has been devastating on the local community, and one of the issues has been to get running water to the taps or getting some form of potable water to our homes. It's been a nightmare. None of the tankers, none of the drivers related to these tankers wanted to come to our areas. They cited threats. Some were stabbed while bringing water to our communities. One had a gun pointed to his head, and others were just told, you will get shot at or you will be attacked if these vehicles come into these areas. So most of the tankers then turned around and went back to the various depots, and we were left without anything.
Now, in the same breath, many local residents and activists like this gentleman say that the concerns of the municipal workers must be attended to, but this must be done with some speed because ultimately it is an essential service. Now, various authorities in KwaZulu-Natal have spoken up about this, but ultimately these negotiations are at a national level because of the policies under which local government operates. So until that happens, this strike by the essential municipal workers continues. They say they need to be paid more in line with their counterparts in other parts of the country. But at the same time, the city, essentially, Michelle, is crumbling because they need these services.
So where to from here, Karinda, in a context where the mayor, Karinda, says he won't engage with the striking workers?
Indeed, and you might have seen that video posted on some social media sites where the mayor is seen trying to speak to some of the protesting member representatives and said, well, this is no longer a meeting, I won't engage. And what's happened now is that he insists that this is going to be handled at a national level with the relevant bargaining council authorities. And while that happens, the eThekwini municipality has obtained an interdict deeming the strike to be illegal. There'll be no pay if no work is done. And in the meanwhile, 20 municipal workers linked to this strike have been suspended by the municipality, while 13 others are before the Durban Magistrates Court. They were arrested earlier this week after a violent protest in Durban where some other municipal employees who came to work were forced out of that building. So we're seeing more of a stance being taken. However, going forward, really this matter is now in the hands of the bargaining council, because the issue of a salary negotiation is still the main focal issue. In the meantime, some temporary workers, Good Samaritans, have been brought in to clean up parts of the city like you see here, but it is the essential workers that needs to remove this the piles of dirt everywhere. They need to attend to the water situations. So it is somewhat of a standstill in terms of the essential services too.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Karinda, Jagmohan, thanks very much indeed for that update. It's going to be interesting to see how the next few days unfold in a context where this is having a dire impact on residents and businesses.